What's up, guys? Andrew here from Fairweather Farm, and I'm just going to be installing right now a drainage tile in the greenhouse. And actually, we have drain tiles already installed around the outside of the greenhouse. They're supposed to cover a 30-foot range, and our greenhouse is 30 foot wide. So in theory, it's already supposed to be drained, but the drainage is not quite good enough. So I'm adding an extra one along the edge of our seed tables, which is where we keep all of the plants that we're growing for to be planted into the greenhouse, the tunnels out into the fields. So I have dug this trench by hand, actually. Ideally, you could dig a trench with a tractor. Before you build the greenhouse, we rushed a little bit the construction of our greenhouse due to some financing that we had received, and there was a deadline. So we didn't have time to do that. So I'm installing this drain for now, but eventually I'd like to actually add an extra drain along the middle of the greenhouse. And this hole is, I'm gonna have to measure it, but it's at least 2 feet deep. So in theory, I should be able to bury this drain tile right here and still be able to till over top of it after it's buried, because my rototiller on my BCS right here, that's not going to go to a 2 foot depth. I'm not exactly sure off by heart what the machine depth is, but I would imagine that it's roughly around a foot, but definitely check that yourself. It'll be on the manufacturer specs. And yeah, the only other thing is that this drain tile, there's like a tied knot right here on the end, but you can buy plastic end caps to just prevent rodents from going into the tube. I think for this one I'm gonna leave it as is because I don't think we have any extra pieces, but I'm not gonna bury it right away, so if we end up buying a cap, we may add that afterwards. Yeah, and just a quick note that, like, the importance of drainage, we have a lot of problem with the clay soils in our fields, which retain a lot of water, and if you can't get the water out of the field, it's hard to be able to actually irrigate enough. And if you can't provide enough water to the crops, well, first of all, the roots are not getting enough oxygen, and then as well, they're not going to grow as well. Ideally, you would irrigate your crops in the morning, and then by the evening it would already be dried out. But if by the next morning it's still wet from yesterday's irrigation and you water again, that's really a big issue. So I feel like drainage is always a worthwhile investment. It's just it takes a little bit of time to do, but once you do it, you have it for 10 years. So that's quite nice. Anyways, take care, and until next time.